Hi guys, this is Chip and Guardians Adventures, and it's also Mystery Angels, and I'm Chip. Guardian's asleep somewhere. Right, I was watching the 5th of August's Voice Behind the Wall, and to be honest, I don't think these guys know what they're talking about. They have actually got access to Don and Candice to speak to them, to make them so they can understand stuff, right? They've got more access to talk to Don and Candice about stuff, to understand stuff, right? But yet, they're running around getting him solicitors and stuff in case he gets arrested overnight and stuff like that. And then when someone says, how are you supporting someone like Don that does things like that? Then they both said, well, he was a child when he did it. But at that stage, he did it at 12 years old. If he'd done it to a 5-year-old once, and it was like a curiosity thing, then he could have got psychiatric help, and that was fine. But this guy did it every night. And there's no way a 5-year-old wouldn't say, it hurts. Please stop. Ouch. This is what I'm worried about, these people and their kids and their animals with Don and Candice being around. This is why Don and Candice have picked these people, especially Don. Then, on top of that, they keep saying different things. Oh, he was 12 and she was 9, 10. No, she was 5 years old. It didn't stop till he was arrested at 18. Then he came back at 19 and tried it again. What part of that don't you guys understand when you've got the person who said it right in front of you? I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to get angry, but they're pissing me off. These people have got children and animals. Well, as far as I know, they've got animals because I've heard some rumours. But I'm looking into all that. I'll just wait till I get my thing fixed and I get to know how to do things. Just wait till you see the video. I've just got ordered a movie maker and that lot. Just wait till you see my videos. These people are defending someone who raped a 5-year-old child. Not just raped. So let me try and calm down and explain. A 5-year-old baby isn't bodies equipped to be touched that way, or anything done to them that way. Do I make myself clear? A 12-year-old boy could be sexually active at that age. The body wouldn't hurt as much at that age. But a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, and even an 8-year-old, it will hurt them. She was 5 years old. She didn't wear makeup or perfumes or nice clothes or dance around a pole or walk past him flicking her hair to him to say, come get me, I love you, you're sexy. She's 5 years old, sitting there playing with her little dolly. Your children are so in danger right now because of your naivety. Stop. Mr. and Mrs. Shea, stop. You're going too far. You keep saying, I get it. I understand. I know where you're coming from. No, you don't. You keep saying things like that, but then you're always correcting what Don's saying. You're saying that Chris is manipulating Don, but you're being blindsided, because if you look at Chris's interviews, he hardly says anything. He keeps his questions short and straight to the point, and every single question is about Summer and the day Summer went missing and the people around Summer. It's Don who keeps changing it and doesn't stick to about Summer. I'm autistic with severe learning difficulties. Not just learning difficulties, severe learning difficulties. And I see that. And even I don't mistake a 5-year-old and a 12-year-old as children. Don lost his childhood the moment he thought about touching that baby. That 5-year-old baby. I don't think you're understanding. 5 years old. Don was 12. His sexual body was starting to mature into becoming a teenager, into becoming sexually curious. She was 5 years old, sitting playing with her dollies, wanting to watch cartoons, sing-alongs, Disney, Beauty and the Beast. Let me put it another way. Don was 12. Take 3 years off Don's age. 12, 11, 10. Now take 3 years off the 5-year-old. 5, 4, 3. Still not convinced? Okay. Don's 12, right? And she's 5, right? So you see no difference between them two. They're both children, right? Wrong. One's a baby and one's starting maturity into a teenager. There's a whole world of difference. But let me do this again. How about taking 4 years off Don first? 12, 11, 10, 9. Now take 4 years off that 5-year-old. 5, 4, 3, 2. In your eyes, Don's still a kid at 9. But she would have been 2. You still see that as good. You still see that as 2 children, dear. And then you keep saying, oh, or was it 3 years? Or was it 4 years difference? Or was it 5? Doesn't matter if there was 20 years difference. She was a baby. Her body wasn't developed for that kind of thing. He is more closer to a teenager. So his body's already started developing, going through puberty, things growing. His brain starting to have these fantasies and thoughts. His chemicals in his bodies have changed. A 5-year-old does nothing. The body's doing nothing but growing. That's it. Guys, listen to this on how these people who have got access to Don still can't get things right. Alexa, shut my light.
Okay.
Right, listen to this, guys. Sorry, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but I've had enough. I've had enough of this. Ready?
Doesn't mean he did it in the summer.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. We're not saying that he's like a perfect guy, or what he did in the past doesn't matter.
Hi, Juanita. Is that you? Is that Juanita? The fact you guys can defend a rapist and pedophile is disgusting. I want you to know it's nothing that he's proud of, but I think there's a lot more to it than what is just being put out there.
Alexa, put my light on.
Okay.
Right. I thought you guys from Voice Behind the Wall was just naive. I thought that you didn't understand predators and stuff like that. Right? So I tried to help you by doing this thing. Well, you just said there's more to it than that. More to what? Let me break it down for you in autistic terms. Let me show you my world. She was 5. He was 12. He was nearly hitting puberty and his body was changing. His mind was changing. His pheromones were starting up. The baby was just coming off milk. More to it than that. What are you saying? She took him out for dinner. She brought him flowers and told him how beautiful he is. There is nothing more to that. He's admitted he's a paedophile. He couldn't have had a relationship with a 5-year-old at 12. His brain was starting to go into adulthood. His teenage years is when the brain starts developing, getting ready for adulthood. In 2 years, he would have been 14 years old. In 2 years, the baby is only 7. So let's put it in that context. Right? He'd been doing it since he was 19. Up to 19. Then he got arrested. And then when he come out, he tried it again. And then she kicked his ass. And ran into her mum and dad's bedroom. More to it than that, yeah? She would have been 9 when he was 14. 10 when he was 15. Still see that consensual, do you? Still see that children, do you? Innocent, do you? Where? Explain where. Explain your theories of more to it than that. There's nothing more to it than that. It don't matter what he went through as a kid himself. As soon as you make a victim, you become the perpetrator. You're just as bad as your own person that the person that sexually assaulted you, you're carrying that person's legacy on. Not your own, not your family's, whoever that person was that violated you as a child, you have now taken their legacy on by choice. When he's going into teenage and adulthood, she's still a child. When he was coming out of childhood into teenagehood, she was a baby. Where is it there's more to it than that? He said it himself. But the trouble is, he apologised if he hurt anybody, if he'd done anything wrong. The guy can't comprehend that a 5-year-old body is not equipped to be doing stuff like that. So it will get damaged. I'm trying to stay calm with you guys. I really am. But you're pushing it. I am so worried for your children's safety and your animal safety with these two people in your life. I don't think you can defend your children. I don't think you can protect your children. In fact, it's not that I don't think, I know. And I'll explain why. If you really believe that a 12-year-old and a 5-year-old can have a relationship, a consensual relationship, then your children are in danger. And something should be done. I ain't joking. I have explained to you what predators are like. He's got all the signs of a basic predator. And I don't mean basic what he does. I mean basic as in it all lines up. And then whatever they do with that, but their traits are like every other predator's traits. And you're saying, I know he did wrong in the past. It's not the past. For his survivors, it's not the past. It's their future. It's their everyday. The body was not equipped. A 5-year-old body is not equipped to handle that sort of thing. There's nothing that child's body could have done or that child could have done to get him his rocks off anything. She did not dance on a pole. She did not wear tight skirts and makeup and perfume. She did not go to him, hey sexy, why don't you come and get me, and run into the bedroom. She was 5 years old playing with her dolly, sleeping with her teddy bears in her bed, comfortable asleep, and thought she was safe. He violated her in every way, mentally, physically, and emotionally at 12 years old. What you should be saying is, how's a 12-year-old even get attracted to a 5-year-old? How's that possible? But you're not saying that. How's a 12-year-old boy look at a 5-year-old playing with a doll or a thing? I get it. I don't understand these predators. I get it. I can't comprehend what gets the rocks off. I can't. But what I can do is do black and white science. And science is plain and simple. A child's body is not equipped, a baby's body is not equipped for a 12-year-old to do things like that. Number one. Number two, a 12-year-old is starting to get into mature, like sexual starting with the brain changing, the body's changing, things are growing, it's becoming complex, it's having hormones. This 5-year-old child hasn't got none of that. It's not the past. The trauma in that child's body will stay with that child forever. Because although that child grows up, because of the emotional distress, that emotion stays at the age. The body stops developing, the brain stops developing, the emotional age stops developing. Look it up. You ain't heard nothing yet, guys. Wait for this. Alexa, my light.
And I've been told a lot more to it.
Alexa, shut my light.
Okay.
I've been told a lot more to it than that. By who? By the manipulator, the paedophile, the sex offender, the SA, whatever you want to bloody well pretend he isn't.
Let's just put out there. So I guess maybe I just have different thinking about it. I don't think it's great either. I'm not condoning it, and he knows that. And
But you are condoning it. Because if you have that influence over Don that you think you do, which you don't, believe me, he's making you believe that you've got control to get what he wants out of you. He does that to children.
And I don't think he is very happy about it either. And maybe
Who gives two tosses what Don is happy about or not? Huh? Who gives two tosses about what Don's happy about or not? He's destroyed children's lives here. From a young age, he's taken people's lives and then carried on with this like nothing happened. You believe every word that comes out of his mouth. You can't protect your children. You can't protect your animals because you haven't got an open mind. You're shut down.
I'll eat my words one day. I don't know, but
that's nothing. Oh, I'll eat my words one day. I might be wrong. And if we're wrong, we'll apologise. Yeah, just like Don. Yeah? Well, he was wrong, so he apologised. But can he fix what he's done wrong? No. Can he give back what he took from that 5-year-old child and that 13-year-old girl that is probably now scared to have people around her? No. Can he give them children back their childhoods from when they were born? His sons, his daughter? No. Can he say sorry and then all of a sudden they're going to have a good future now? No. Can you take back what you've defended if he gets away with it and then rapes and kills another child? Sorry, I shouldn't say that word. I'm sorry, guys. If he essays that you get him off and then he essays another child, then what? What are you going to do? Say sorry? Well, I'll admit I'm wrong when I'm wrong, and I'm wrong. I've just paid to get him out. I've got children that I could spend that money on, but instead I won't. Instead of buying my children some nice things and take them out for a day to Disneyland or whatever, I'll just spend the money on getting him a solicitor and a lawyer and stuff and calling him and stuff like that. Although you're probably living in a very small house and he's probably living on 11 acres of land, but that's okay. And then you get him off this charge. And then he gets an even cockier. And this time he takes another innocent child. But your sorry is going to make it all better, is it? Your sorry is going to make another victim not be a victim, is it? If you believe Don and you keep making excuses for Don, that's what people do when they don't want to admit that there's a child abuser amongst the midst. I'm suggesting right now that you go and get some counselling. I suggest you stop talking to Don for a little while and get some counselling. Talk to some professional SA counsellors. Because you will never forgive yourselves if your children get hurt because you can't see black and white. You want to defend innocent people, but you're defending the wrong innocent. Don is not innocent, and you know that. And yet you're still trying to make excuses why you think it's okay to defend him. Okay then, let me put it this way. So you think that he should have a fair hearing. Right, Alexa, put my light on.
Okay.
Okay, answer me this if you're not cowards. Okay? If you're not cowards, answer me this. Mr. and Mrs. Shea, you think Don should have a fair trial, right? You think Don's being railroaded by Chris, right? You think he's been mishandled, misrepresented, and you think he's been set up because you think he's innocent enough that he's been set up so they can put Don as the fall guy. So, because the police need someone to blame, so they're just going to blame Don and throw him in to prison, right? This is what you believe. That's your belief. You believe he should have a fair chance. You believe he should have a fair trial, right? What about the 5-year-old? What about his other sister, the 13-year-old, who was just sitting there and he brought his friends in to gang rape her? Do you think he thought about their rights? Go and say it. No, well, he was 12 years old. So what? She was 5. She knew nothing. He knew some things that she didn't know. He knew it was wrong and right at that age. Everyone knew it was wrong and right at that age. At that age, you wouldn't even think about doing it to a 5-year-old, to be fair. At that age, you'd be into football and going out with your mates and, you know, fancying your school teacher. What about their rights? What about their rights to grow up in a safe environment? Because not only did Don take their light away, not only did Don destroy them 2 girls' lives for the rest of it and have to make them become survivors and adapt to this forever. But on top of that, did he give them their rights? Their right to be babies. What about their rights? Why aren't you defending the survivors? Answer me that question. Why are you defending Don, who's big enough and ugly enough to take care of himself? Why aren't you defending the babies? Although they're adults now, they're technically not adults, because once they feel that pain again, once they hear that noise or that fear, it sends them right back to that age. mentally, emotionally, physically. And then they can't function for days and days and days until the brain remembers they're not that age. Do you know what that's like? That a bang at the door or a creaking noise when you're asleep sends you straight back to that moment. And then for days, weeks, you can't function. Sometimes people can't cope so bad that they commit suicide. It's not just easy for you. Well, if we're wrong, we're wrong. You're getting him solicitors and stuff like that. Why can't he get his own? The guy has manipulated the police, has manipulated CPS, has manipulated women, children, and everything in his life ever since he was a child. He manipulated police officers. He should have been arrested for having a gun in his car, and he's an offender on top. Candice's mother said it was loaded. He said it wasn't, and for some unknown reason, the police believed him over Candice's mum. What does that say? That he can manipulate. But you've got children. You've got animals. It's not you he's interested in. I get it. You want to make sure that you're defending the innocent. Right? I get it. So why are you defending the guilty and not the innocent? Why aren't you reaching out to the children that got attacked by him, to his sisters? You might think they're adults, but emotionally and mentally, they're brought right back to that 5-year-old and that 13-year-old. A banging noise, someone shouting, anything can trigger that memory, and your whole body reacts, your mind reacts. It sends you straight back there. People say you can't time travel. That's not true. When you've been attacked like that, your body and your mind time travel straight back to that point. A pain, a simple pain, could actually trigger a whole month or trigger something to take your life away. You want to defend innocent people, I get it. But you're not defending innocent people, are you? I want you, and I've asked you once and I'm asking you again. I've emailed you once and I'll email you again. I'm asking you to come out with, do you believe Don did that to his sisters? Do you believe his sisters are victims and now survivors? Do you believe that? Do you believe what Don says when he says, yes, but she wanted the relationship as well? Do you believe that? What part of Don is innocent? One's neither than the other. It's just a coincidence that Summer's 5 years old. It's just a coincidence that every night she's in his bed. It's just a coincidence that he's not only tried it with one sister, but two sisters at different ages. It's just a coincidence that Candice is younger than he is. Yeah? With lots of problems. It's just a coincidence. How many friends has he tried it on of these children that we don't know about? You think that's all he did it to? Was that 5-year-old little baby sister and that 13-year-old baby sister? You don't think he's not done it outside there with those mates? You think that was the first time? You're delusional. They were easy targets. But I don't mean that's the first time he's done that. Let me ask you a question. This is to Mr. and Mrs. Shea. Have you ever in your life, ever, both of yous, ever looked at a 5-year-old attractively and had the urge to touch them in any inappropriate way? Like that. Have you had that urge? Because if the answer's no, then that's not normal, is it? When you were 12 years old, were you attracted to babies? Did you get feelings and thoughts to babies? If the answer's no, then it's not normal. Go look up psychopathy. Go look up how their sexual maturity is a lot younger when they become mature than the average teenager. Reach out to Emma Kenny and ask her. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to accommodate you. Do your homework. Because I'm worried for your children. I really am. I'm scared for your children. Because if Don can manipulate their parents into believing that it's okay for a 12-year-old to touch a baby, a 5-year-old child, and even think about doing it to a 5-year-old child, let alone doing it, is normal. Have you got children that are 12 years old? Have you got children that are under 12? Because if what you're saying is true, then you're saying that your 9-year-old or your 8-year-old or your 5-year-old is not going to be safe with you. Because you're 12-year-old. So you're telling me if your 12-year-old said, Mummy, Daddy, I love my little sister so much that I'm going to touch her. I'm going to do things. You're going to say that's okay because you're both children. Please, guys. It's people like you that don't protect their children. It's people like you. You're not naive. You're not stupid. Because of your hatred for some unknown reason for the law, your hatred for authority is going to put your children, your animals in danger by these two people. Children need defending. Animals need defending. Vulnerable adults need defending. Don Wells doesn't need defending. And even defend Candice at least. At least Candice, because she's younger, and at least her because she's been abused before. Support her. Why Don? Why the perpetrator of all this? Do you understand that CPS has taken their boys away? Do you understand that every photograph Summer is in, she's dirty to hide bruises? That Candice hangs around with a 15-year-old boy. If it was true and they cut Summer's hair because she cut it, then why do they keep shaving Summer's hair? Why didn't they let it grow? Because if you look at Don and Candice's hair, it's fully grown. You look at the last day's Summer's skull. before she went to school in that top on the last photographs. Sorry, I'm getting confused. The last photograph that they took of her in their school uniform. Why was her hair still short when Don's hair is very long? If you look at the picture of him and Summer sitting there together with their heads shaved bald, surely to God she would have had long hair by now. So not that they shave it once, which is understandable, but they've been shaving it constantly, keeping it short constantly. And Don said in the interview, oh, because she shaved it a bit, we decided to shave it off and then let it grow again. That's not true, because your hair's grown since then, the boy's hair's grown since then, Candice's hair's grown since then, and Summer's hair's still short. Why don't you ask questions like, why don't you let Chris into your shed? You want me to tell you what, that shed's important? Because he's got tools in there. What's he going to say? He went hunting. You think the police aren't going to be able to find out if that's human blood or if it's animal blood or not? Do you think that if you bleed as a human and then you cut an animal up, that knife will just have the animal blood in it? No, it won't, because the DNA is too different. I get you want to defend Don. I get it. You want to defend an innocent person who you believe is getting blamed for something. If my child went missing, I couldn't give 7 bells if people wanted to blame me. You know why? Because it's out there. And they're keeping my child alive by talking about them constantly. And I wouldn't say she was kidnapped. If I was there, the first thing I'd say is, Jesus, did she run into the woods? Did a bear come out and grab her? Because there was no one around. But you see, there's 4 steps to Summer's being missing. 4 steps. Which Candice doesn't reveal and can't remember. And it's convenient that she takes her to the boys. And yet she says sometimes she sits out here, lets herself out, sits out here, and then goes up to a swing on her own. So why would her mum just walk her there to there? That specific day. What, to say to the boys, look after your sister when they're playing Minecraft? My careworker says, Chip, we're going to do shopping in 5 minutes, so round it off. And I'm playing my PlayStation or my Xbox. I don't know what time it is. I don't even hear her. I go into my own world. And she's like, what did I tell you? The alarm's gone off. Has it? I didn't even notice. It was right in my ear. Chip, you need to get ready to go shopping. Chip, you need to get ready to go shopping. You and Guardian need to go shopping. You need to get ready to go shopping. It was doing it for half an hour. And I didn't even hear it. So you expect the boys to hear, hey guys, look after your sister. Hey boys, look after your sister. Or hear Summer saying, I'm going down to play with my toys. Why would she say that to the boys? Why would she get permission? Because according to Candice, Summer, right, is the boss of the house. She's the boss of the family. So why would Summer say to the boys, I'm just going down to play with my toys? A 5-year-old. She'd see them playing, she'd just walk off, wouldn't she? What's saying she didn't walk outside the door to find her puppy because she was bored? Her mum wasn't there. She'd been out. She'd had a little sleep. She had loads of sweets, so she was high on sugar. Her brothers were all there, and she thought, oh, sod it, I'm going out to get my swing or go and play with the puppies. Or go and see the new puppies. It doesn't make sense that a 5-year-old would say to the boys, I'm going down to play with my toys. My 5-year-old never said that. I'm forever looking for him, and I'm like, where have you gone now? And I'll be running round shouting, where are you? You've got to tell someone where you're going. I forgot. Let me ask you guys a question. And this is for you, Mr. and Mrs. Share. Right to your face. Jamie Bolger was a baby. Go and watch the story about Jamie Bolger. 2 10-year-old boys. And how they horrifically attacked that poor baby. How they pulled that poor baby away from his mum. And it was done in that. And I mean that. His head was cut. People were walking past saying, is he all right? Yeah, he's my brother. I'm taking him home. And instead of stopping and saying, yeah, I'll come home with you and keep an eye on that head, they just went, oh, go on then, go home. But they were 10 years old. I'm not going to say on here what they did. Go and find out. Jamie Bolger. Bootle in Liverpool in the UK. Are you telling me them 2 10-year-olds didn't know what they were doing? Was it consensual, was it? Jamie just went, yeah, I'll go with you so you can beat the shit. You can beat me up. You can do those horrific things to me. You want to know what one of the boys are doing now? Now they're out of prison. They've forever been arrested and moved and changed their names constantly. Because the police go into their house and find child porn constantly on their computer. He constantly gets drunk in pubs and then tells people who he is, who his real name is, what he did. So the police, they spend millions, keep moving him and hiding him and changing his name again and again and again. Has he changed, has he? They've been in prison since the age of 10 to the age of 18. They took a baby's life. Horrifically. Please give me that answer. The boy, he's still doing it. Still doing it to this day. And he's getting away with it. He keeps getting hidden because the police can't tell. The government don't want you to know that they're still doing this. They're still looking at the pictures and stuff like that. They don't want you to know that because then they failed. They allowed them out when they went to the Pro Bowl because they found, guess what? Yes, the Bible and the get out of jail free card. They were so smart. These 18-year-olds tricked the Pro Board into believing they changed. And in fact, since he's become 18, he's become worse. Go check it out and then tell me. Tell me when you thought Don had changed. Tell me how many victims do you think Don actually has? You think it was just his sisters, do you? Yeah. All right. Alexa, shut my light. Watch this, guys. Watch how naive these people are. Alexa, shut my light.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. We're not saying that he's like a perfect guy, or what he did in the past doesn't matter.
Hi, Juanita. Is that you? Is that Juanita? the fact you guys can defend a rapist and pedophile is disgusting. I want you to know it's nothing that he's proud of, but I think there's a lot more to it than what is just being put out there. And I've been told a lot more to it than what's just been put out there.
So tell us what. Tell us exactly what, because as far as we're concerned, a 5-year-old child was violated by a 12-year-old brother. Jamie Bolger. Who told you? The police? The sisters? Who told you? You keep... This person, right, this Mrs. Shea keeps doing half things, just like Don is. Well, I was told different. I was told this. Who told you? Which credible source did you hear it from? We don't excuse what he does. Yes, you do excuse what he does at 12 years old and onwards. This wasn't just once. He tortured them children. Tortured them, and he went to prison and tried to torture him as soon as he got out. He's put the fear of God into them babies. If you think God's going to forgive what he's done and anyone who follows him, then you're gravely mistaken. God doesn't say forgive, because he would have forgive Lucifer and let him back into heaven, wouldn't he? But he hasn't, and he stops him and his minions going into heaven. So which one are you?
I guess maybe I just have different thinking about it. I don't think it's great either. I'm not condoning it, and he knows that, and I don't think he is very happy about it either. And maybe I'll eat my words one day. I don't know, but I just...
If we're wrong, we're wrong, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
What about him giving his sisters the benefit of the doubt and not doing it and not taking their childhood away like that? What about their human rights for him to turn around and give himself up and say, look, I need help because I did this to my sisters? He still is trying to say that there was consensual sex between a 5-year-old and a 12-year-old. It was consensual all the way through. It was a relationship. He says, if I hurt anyone, if a 5-year-old child, if. In other words, well, because everyone's telling me to, I might as well just apologise. This guy needs to be locked up for good. He's seriously ill. There's something wrong with him. He's broken good style in his brain, and he needs to be castrated and put away.
I never said he did, but she was 5, wasn't she? Or am I mistaken? I believe she was like 6 or 9.
There you go. She's 5. Was I mistaken? Was she 6? 9? All of it. You're talking to Don every day. All of it.
6 or something, and he was like 11 or something.
12. And then went to prison at 18 and come out and tried it again.
Something like that. They were both children. Okay.
Jamie Bolger. His predators were 10 years old. Jamie Bolger was a baby with his mum shopping. She went to pay the butcher and they took him. They were looking, they already tried to abduct another child since then. Not only has Jamie Bolger's family split up, the mum and dad, but the dad can't survive. The mum is still lost. The brothers and sisters are without their baby brother. And they were 10. They're still doing it to this day. The police are still hiding them. He's getting drunk and telling people who he is and what he's done. The police have raided his flat and seen all these photographs on his computer. 10 they were. Are you saying they shouldn't have been punished? Talk to Jamie Bolger's parents and look them in the face and tell them that they were all children. You've got to forgive them.
I mean,
It was wrong.
If you're a child and you do an adult crime like that, then you're not a child. End of.
it was wrong.
I'm not saying that it was wrong.
Right. Past is the past. It has nothing to do with this.
Yes, it is. This is what I mean by these people being delusional. It's nothing to do with this. Summer's 5. Summer's gone missing. Summer's 5. Summer's gone missing. Summer's auntie was 5. Summer's auntie was 13. Summer's 5. She's gone missing. The state of their childhood, the abuse, the bruises in the pictures, the swelling of the fingers and the hands, the sleeping in the same bed as a predator. Them girls lost their childhood. Summer's lost her childhood. Regardless if she comes back now or not, doesn't matter. What matters is the horrificness she's been through. Is she going to survive into adulthood without trying to take her life? Is there enough help out there to help her through this? There is now, us, my subscribers and me. The past is not the past. We carry that shadow on our backs for the rest of our lives. We are branded survivors. We survive every moment of every day from anything that could trigger us, from a noise, from a smell.
Yeah, and I mean, why do they wait till right now to all of a sudden bring this out? I mean, I hate to be...
Because they didn't have a platform for people to believe them before. They wanted to tell the police what kind of man they were dealing with. So instead of them, the police running around, never knowing and never looking at him, because they probably know, like all other survivors know, that they're very charming. They're very, oh, please love me. Please feel sorry for me. Don could convince them that he was the perfect father. So they wanted to make sure that the police knew who they were dealing with. And because Summer being 5 as well, they probably thought, oh my God, because they didn't even know Summer. He didn't tell them. As far as they were concerned, he had boys, that's it. That's why they didn't tell him, because if they knew that he had a baby girl, they would have come out sooner. They were the ones probably phoning CPS when they found out that Summer was a girl.
that person, because I've been through it, but I don't know, and I've heard some people, well, the parents didn't put it out. Then that's on the damn parents. The parents then should be in just as much trouble for helping cover it up and not protecting their daughter.
Not just in much trouble. They should be done for the same crime. The parents, because they covered it up and saved him over them 2 girls, they should be done for the same crime. And the mother should have protected her biological daughters. She didn't. They should be done for the same crime. The sentence should be not just on Don, but them 2 as well. Exactly the same sentence. Because if they would have done something about it when he was 12 years old, then Don could be locked up, like Candace's brother, and other children would have been saved.
Right.
In my opinion, why are we talking about that? Like,
Yeah, that's the thing that doesn't really sit well with me is this woman goes after Dawn for what happened when they were kids.
When you have deviancy in your mind, you're not a child. 2 10-year-old boys kidnapped a baby under 5, Jamie Bolger. If you don't know that story, go check it out. Jamie Bolger, Bootle, Liverpool, UK. What they did was no way a 10-year-old's mind, no way, should have done it. The reason why they're not 12-year-olds and 10-year-olds, they're not 100% innocent. So what you saying the 5-year-old did then? How did the 5-year-old sexually assault Don? How did the 5-year-old give him permission? How? What, because she accepted some sweets off him? She accepted a ride off him? Is that what you're saying? What exactly are you saying? How was it that they weren't innocent in this? How? Explain. Because what you guys are starting to say is that all of survivors, it was partly our fault. I dare you to say that. I dare you. I swear to God, you better answer that question. Are you saying that all the survivors weren't innocent?
As soon as Dawn gains popularity because of Summer.
Yeah.
Why did she?
He never gained popularity because of Summer. He gained popularity because he's lying, twisting things and confusing things, confusing people. And on top of that, talking about himself constantly. And never talking about Summer except for near the I miss her so much. See how many times he mentions Summer compared to me. See how many times he mentions his daughter's name to the word I or me.
Not do anything about this before.
Like, why not, like, a week before, like Mr. Shea was saying? How come she didn't come, like, have this, like, epiphany to tell her story, like, a week before?
Because, you fool. There was no need to bring up things because they didn't know about Summer. I swear, if they knew about Summer being born a female and they knew that Summer was sleeping in the same bed as Don, they would have not only gone down there, they would have called the police, the CPS, and they would have gone down there to try and take Summer out of that situation. But Don didn't tell them. They wanted the police to know what kind of guy they were dealing with. He targets 5 years old and up.
Or whatever. It was all of a sudden Don's in media everywhere, and here she is.
And Don's admitted it. Don's just delusional, but he's admitted it. He said, yeah, of course we did. She was 5, I was 12. I used to take her out on my bike. But it was a relationship. It's Don that admitted it. It's Don's delusion that thinks that every adult here with a normal way of thinking is going to accept that a 5-year-old was having a relationship with a 12-year-old and had a long-term 7-year relationship. Hey, then again, yous believe him. Yous have got kids. Oh my God, you're poor children. Oh my God, you're poor animals and children when you've got Don. I hope to God that you listen and keep your children away from Don and Candice. Please, keep your children away from them. I can see what you're doing and I can see what's going to happen. Don's going to get arrested. Candice is not going to talk to Don. He's going to kick him out. This is going to be the ploy. And then he's going to call you and say, I've got nowhere to go. Candice has kicked me out because she believes CPS or whatever, and then you say, come and stay on our couch. Or come and stay on our property, we've got a caravan. Right where your children are, bingo, he's got you. Don't you know this is one of their tricks? I'm autistic with learning difficulties and I can see what he's doing. Seriously, I have a mental age of a 14-year-old, emotional age of a 5-year-old. I don't understand things, and I'm telling you now that that's his plan. And you're going to allow it because he's going to say, when you say, well, we'll get you a hotel, why don't you trust me with your kids? No, of course we do. Are you sure? Yeah, come, we'll show you. That's how they work it.
Railroad now.
Yeah, and the same thing with Ali. Like, they just couldn't wait to insult them and make them look bad. It's weird.
So Ali and everyone made Don do this then as a kid, did he? Did you know that Ali, the school teacher, Robin, and even Hunter had spoke to the sheriff and the CPS loads of times about Summer, about the bruising, about the boys and what happened. A lady that was there in the interview had phoned CPS up and told them, and phoned the police up and told them what Candice did that day. And they said they would look into it and never did. Just saying.
Yeah, Susie, I grew up in foster care, and I don't know. I'm just seeing it a little bit differently, also not condoning it. So I'm sorry some people don't understand that. I don't know.
No, because you're not explaining yourself. Explain how a 5-year-old child has a relationship with a 12-year-old. Explain how that is possible. When in a year's time, that child will only be 6. That other child will be 13. Explain to Jamie Bolger's parents and his brothers and sisters how 2 10-year-olds take him to railway tracks and do what they did to him. Jamie Bolger, a baby, under 5 years old. Guys, go watch about Jamie Bolger. He's from Bootle in Liverpool in the UK. 2 10-year-old boys. By the time they were 18, they got released by parole. And they keep getting arrested and finding child porn on their computers and keep putting them into protective custody and hiding them and giving them a new identity which costs millions of pounds. And he gets drunk, he sits there and he boasts about what he did to Jamie Bolger. There is a reason why this is going like that, by the way, guys. Just thought I'd let you know. It's because I'm talking about a specific person. But, yeah, look it up, guys. Jamie Bolger.
Right, she married her cousin, so...
In this country, you can marry your cousin. What's that got to do with it? She was consensual then. She wasn't at 5. I don't understand yous keep going on about this. Well, she married her cousin. So what? What's that got to do with it? They were both consensual and adults. Don was 12. She was 5. You can't put the wool over our eyes like Don's doing you. You telling me that you believe a 5-year-old would have a relationship with a 12-year-old boy and can consent to that, then your children should not be in your custody.
Yeah, her cousin who was also a lot older.
Is there any new news about Summer? Not yet. Just hopefully a lead that may lead to something. I don't know, but just a tip that happened tonight. So we'll see.
A tip that happened tonight, we'll see. Oh, they're loving this, aren't they? Controlling a potential essay, right? Controlling one of them, having a go at the people who are trying to find somewhere and trying to legally get hold of somewhere, ridiculing a guy who all he's doing is asking simple questions. They're simple questions. I wouldn't be intimidated if Chris asked me them questions, would you? And that's what you've got to do. Sit there and look at Chris's questions, pause it and ask yourself, if you were interviewed, do it the way I did, right? So what I did was, Alexa, put my light on. Alexa, put my light on. What I did was, I put Chris's interview on, and then every time Chris asked a question, I paused it, so like he was talking to me. And I answered every question, and I weren't threatened. I didn't feel pushed. I didn't feel twisted. I didn't feel I had to answer any of the questions. I felt comfortable. So that's why I can't understand what they're saying about Chris, because I did it and I felt comfortable. I can't see what they're saying. If they've got proof that Chris is breaking the law, then we need to see it. But these people are just, let's put it this way. If I was CPS right now, I'd remove their kids, because right now their kids are in danger. How could, Mr., forget the Mrs., Mr. Shea, Mr. Shea, you say you've never been in trouble with the law. You say you've never had them kind of feelings that Don has and that, yeah? Please don't let him in your house to hurt your children. You cannot protect your children against these predators. Before you know it, they've convinced you, and before you know it, they've gone and your child's been hurt. I hope this bruising goes soon. Looks really weird, doesn't it? Look, my eyes are getting more black with the head button. That's what made me angry, was these. Their children. How many people believe that if you believe him, he's going to say, oh, me and Candice had an argument. He's going to get drunk one night, going to say, me and Candice had an argument. You know, I've got nowhere to go. Oh, we'll put you up in a hotel. Oh, so you don't trust me? All I need is one night somewhere where, oh, well, we've got a caravan. Yeah, bring them straight onto your property where your kids are. Oh, we can lock the doors. Wasn't Summer's door locked? According to Candice. A locked door won't stop a predator like him. And you've just introduced him to your children so they know him. Just saying. Here we go, guys. Alexa, shut my light. Alexa, shut my light. Here's the last bit, guys.
See what comes from there.
Your most played songs.
Alexa, shut my light.
Okay.
Alexa, stop.
Yes, spring, summer, moon, home. Don has to love with his past. Has zero to do with summer. Right.
Are these people delusional? Has zero... You know, psychiatrists and right, you know, guys, I'm talking to my subscribers here, right? Listen, guys. How many of yous have had this done to them in the past as survivors and been able to say, oh, it's the past, sod it? Now let's put the show on the other foot. How about we ask how many predators can do that? We can say every single one of them, can't we? Because they're just a narcissist. They don't care about who they hurt. They get their rocks off, move on. It's like a nuclear bomb. A president will set off a nuclear bomb. Well, it won't matter if it kills nearly everybody. We'll be safe because we're in a shelter. And then a few years later, when people come and say, did you nuke all them people? Did you put our planet at risk? Yeah, well, that was the past. Let's go on with it. Well, how can we get on with it? You nuked everything. Oh, we'll easy fix it back together. Delusional.
He didn't have to, but he did because he trusted. He didn't have to let people in the house, but he did.
Yes, he did. Because if he refused, then he would have got a warrant.
You know, I texted Don. I said, as soon as I heard, like when he had done that interview, as soon as I heard he was going in that house, I texted Don.
Is this woman, is she a defense attorney or something? I'm not understanding. She's trying to say that she's a specialist in something. She's advising him on matters that a solicitor should be advising him on. She's now apparently a psychiatrist or psychologist. She's now a doctor of science, body science in children. I can't work out what exactly specialist she specialises in. Because I tell you something, if you look at her video, she's done so many mistakes and apologised so many times and attacked people and then apologised afterwards. You can't take it back. Once it's there, it's there. That's it, done, finished. Once it's in the open, it's always in the open.
And I said, what the hell are you doing? Like, she let that man in your house with no attorneys. Like, what are you thinking? What is happening?
Robin sworn. Just because Don did bad things doesn't mean that at the end of the summer we don't want to just throw him in prison for something he didn't do. The real perp go free.
Amen.
Exactly.
That's my girl, Rob.
Why would the police let the perp go free? They're making it out like the police are that... guys, all my subscribers in Tennessee, are your police really that backwards? Are your police really that bad? Seriously, let me know, please. Is it true that your police officers are so stupid and dumb that they will actually ignore everything just for an arrest? They don't care who it is. Can you answer me that, guys, if you live in Tennessee? Because according to these two people, they're really making me feel someone's not going to be found because they're telling me that these police officers are dumb, stupid and backwards. And if that's the case, then we need to step in and save Summer.
Perfectly said.
Yeah. No, I forget what I was saying.
That's right, Robin. We just want.
Did I know the FBI's on it as well? Aren't the FBI the most intelligent people in America? And the TBI?
Summer found.
Yep. Oh, I was trying to pin it actually, and it's not moving.
I've got cars breaking up down the interstate here, so I'm going to mute.
Right, guys, what's the chances that Don was either getting ready or hasn't already started on Summer if he believes that Alexa put...
Okay.
Thank you. If Don believes, right, guys, if Don believes that 5-year-olds can give consent and these two people are backing him up on that, yeah, don't worry about it, Don, and that. And he's always getting away with it. What's the chances of Don being okay with carrying on with Summer? What would stop Don from touching Summer that didn't stop him for touching his 5-year-old sister? And on that note, I'll let you get off. Stay safe. Keep your family safe. For all you survivors out there, keep strong. Stay strong. Be strong. catching a wild crocodile.